I finally played Celeste, and it was great. After not having played a 2D side-scroller in what feels like forever, this game really scratched that platforming itch. The developers take advantage of the dash mechanic and produce creative and interesting ways for the player to utilize that dash to solve some of the platforming puzzles. Cool mechanics to spice up the platforming, good soundtrack, nice art style. The game is just fun to play, except for the wind levels. And in a year or two, when I look back in the gaming library for a fun 2D platformer to play, I'm definitely going to choose Donkey Kong Country. Cool mechanics to spice up the platforming, amazing soundtrack, great art style. The game is just fun to play. Celeste is basically the same 2D side-scroller with platforming that we have been playing for the last 30 years, just with a new coat of paint, an indie coat of paint, that doesn't have the AAA polish like Donkey Kong Country does, and it really becomes noticeable as you play Celeste. The main mechanic of Celeste is the dash move, which is great and all, but the problem is that this move can be performed in 8 directions, up, down, left, right, and then the diagonals in between those directions. And this just does not work well enough with the analog stick or using the D-pad. There were so many times that I found myself dying, not because I had tried doing the wrong thing or had the wrong timing, but because my character would dash in a direction that I didn't want. This would become extremely frustrating when attempting to complete the harder challenges in the game. I really think they should have just kept it at up, down, left, or right, and designed the levels around that. At one point in Chapter 6, I almost stopped playing because I was lost and could only find the secret room and thought I was just too dumb to figure out the puzzle. I finally looked up someone playing through the game, and they had the same issue at that same spot. Just small things that add up to worsen the experience for the player that I think may have been avoided if this game were to have the budget and resources for things like playtesting like a AAA game would. I made a video about how the AAA gaming scene is dead, and in that got quite a few comments telling me that I'm a dumb, stupid bozo because I haven't played indie games. Well, I have, and while there are a lot out there that are good, none have ever blown me away personally. In the indie space, you get so many of the same types of games, endless amounts of survival games. Yes, I know people love Subnautica, but I really just hate that type of game where you leave your base, go collect supplies, come back to your base, and repeat endlessly. It just isn't for me. You have the horror games, of course, which, let's be real, Resident Evil does better. You have farming sims, which, again, just not for me. You have the walking sims, which, okay, might have an interesting story or something, but are so boring. And you have the games that are fresh takes on old ideas, new coats of paint on games that we've been seeing forever. Celeste is just a tweak to the formula we saw in Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country and countless other 2D platforming AAA games from the SNES era. Cuphead, I love the art, but we've seen this game in arcades since the dawn of gaming. Metal, Hellslinger is just a take on Doom. The list goes on and on. I've enjoyed a lot of indie games, but I just have not found one that's that complete package that takes gaming to the next level like so many AAA games have. When I beat Uncharted 2, I wanted to play it again and again because it was so amazing to have control of a character in a blockbuster action movie. When I beat Resident Evil 4, I wanted to play it again to experience that perfect blend of atmosphere, survival horror, and action.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
When I beat Mass Effect 2, I wanted to play it again because I was blown away by being able to change the story in this massive universe with so many unique characters. When I beat Red Dead 2, I wanted to play it again to be immersed in an open world game like I never had before. When I beat Celeste, I thought to myself, that was neat, put it down, and we'll probably forget about it in 2 weeks.